Welcome home, Rat Pack Marcus here, and welcome to Anime Avenue, the channel where I collect absolutely everything anime. But you already know, Naruto is my ninja way. Now with that out the way, I hope you beautiful people are having an amazing day. And if you're not, you know the drill. Hokage! Camera flip! It's about to get a whole lot brighter, Rat Pack, because your boy is here. Today is the day. We have been waiting for this day for over 1 year.
What?
1 year.
Why is there an S at the end?
It sounds more dramatic when you put it as plural, even if it's one. 1 year we've been waiting for this. This is the day where we are going to combine the entire Naruto / Boruto Hokage wall, baby. You can go give him a little sneak peekle. Yeah. Sneak pickle midjo.
What?
So you guys know I love collecting the Naruto pops, but you know what? I was lacking and I couldn't bring myself to collect the entire Hokage wall. Maybe by the end of this video it'll convince me, but I just thought this is gonna take up way too much space. Just looking at this is like 10% of the room. This is a lot of big pops. But Mitchell did start that journey and he decided to collect every single one of these, and thanks to him we're gonna be able to bring this to you guys so we can check it out together on the channel. The entire Naruto Hokage wall built as one, and by the end of this journey we'll not only be unboxing them, but we'll also be deciding who is our favorite Hokage. And Mitchell will choose one, I will choose one, and then you will choose one, hopefully, in the comments down below. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and sit on down and start building this wall. Yeah. Okay, so starting it off, we have Hashirama Senju here, and he is known as the god of all ninja because essentially he was the most powerful. I mean, debatably still. I mean, what do you think, Naruto?
I don't know, yeah. It's hard to say.
I mean, Naruto and Sasuke, they've had to have a lot of help from celestial beings, from demons. Hashirama was just that guy from birth, essentially, so...
I mean, he beat Madara on his own, so yeah, I guess he is really...
as a core ninja, the most powerful possibly ever. So Hashirama was, of course, named the first ever Hokage. So we are starting the wall off here. And you know what? My Naruto knowledge is okay. I don't believe I remember when they started the wall. Did they just start with just his head at first? Or did they like get down the line and they're like, okay, we got a couple of these guys. What if we just put them right here, Mount Rushmore style? I heard that's a thing somewhere else in the world, maybe. Do you know how many heads? Because I only can remember off the top of my head is the 3 when Naruto, you know, sees them. But I'm sure that they had to get started at some point.
お前のでかい顔よこの足元の岩に掘る冗談だろ顔がいかつすぎるから
Have you seen the guy that worked on Kakashi's? I mean, who knows?
You know, like, did they start with just one? Because that's pretty, like, if there's 2 people up there and you want to add a head, you're like, oh, okay, I'm just another one on there. I'm not just this weird guy who's like some kind of dictator. But if it's just one, it's kind of like, whoa, he's okay. So Hashirama, let's go ahead and start this off. We're going to open these up very gingerly. So these are ginormous boxes. Okay, so we have him out of here. And I mean, just this is like a big piece.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna leave the insert in there because I don't know if I can get that back in the same way, so we're just gonna leave that like that. But there we go. We have Hashirama.
It looks so weird.
It's just crazy how big it is. But yeah, just one head on there. It looks a little weird. But you can see he's got, this is the leaf that he had when he looked through it and he decided to name the village the Leaf Village. So he quite literally started the Leaf Village essentially with Madara, right?
I think he was trying to build it with him, yeah. And then Tobirama was like not having it.
Madara was supposed to be, like, there was supposed to be the Uchiha there too. You know, there was a big clash between, you know, groups.
これからは民主的な運営をやっていく意義はあるかいやそれでいいそして俺は初代火影となった
It's crazy that, like, you know, with all the ninja technology, ninjutsu tech, nobody could really get to his level, even with all the different visual prowesses, Kekkei Genkai that so many of them have just through blood. He's just, like I said, he's just that guy. So really cool, and I mean, probably debatable as one of the best. I mean, what do you think is your favorite? I mean, is Hashirama your favorite, or are you still thinking about it?
Well, he's not my favorite, yeah.
So he's not your favorite, not my favorite either. But it's not because of, like, we're not just deciding this based on power alone. Where are Hashirama's flaws?
Gambling.
I would say that, and
he's too nice.
Yeah, I think realistically, it's sad to say, but if he would have done some things he probably should have with Madara at the beginning, a lot of things wouldn't have went down. A lot of people wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that, you know, and I mean, like, even Naruto's pretty nice, you know, when you consider all things. So I'm gonna go with him not being my favorite yet, but a powerhouse, absolutely. So we have Hashirama up here first. We'll get a good 360 shot of them for you guys, or just a pan shot, because the back, you know what's behind that wall. Just that little area where they take kids during, like, attacks.
I'm so excited to see it done, because the whole, like, walkway, you know, that they have, but also this does not look like Hashirama to me.
It never looked like him to me when I first saw the show, though, either.
It's just some, like, it looks like some just, it looks like Aang.
These are all going to connect to build one piece, if I haven't already said that. So as we add pieces here, you're going to see them come together even further. So we're going to put the boxes to the side here for right now. All right, so we have next up his baby brother, who doesn't look like related to him at all.
Yeah.
We have Tobirama. So the originator of the flying Raijin technique, as you guys know, later on the fourth Hokage, the Flash, the yellow Flash, ends up using it to, not only is he a very fast ninja, but uses it to even further create illusions to make himself even faster than he seems by using the flying Raijin and throwing his flying Raijin kunai right there. But the creator of that was Tobirama right here, and I mean, him and Hashirama started so many of the jutsus that different ninjas use throughout time, and kind of build off of those, and you know, kind of make them a little bit better. They build these small little humble condos, and then people build apartments on them, you know, like this whole structure. So let's take out Tobirama, and I feel like for me, Tobirama is the more of the, I feel like he's the least known, the least talked about of all of them.
He's also probably like the most like strict, most like
Stern,
yeah. See, he's like, yeah, man, we needed to kill those Uchihas.
Very much of a Uchiha hater.
車輪ガンを持たぬ不幸を呪うが気合審議
So then we have them connected right here, and I would say the biggest flaw of Tobirama is maybe, debatably, but I think maybe creating the reanimation jutsu.
Or at least working on it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people, I could see how you could use that for good, and like, oh, okay, we can bring back previous people, like, you know, for example, his brother, to be helpful, but we've also seen them be brought back to be they just assholes, you know? Like, so Orochimaru brought them back with his jutsu, and they attacked the Leaf Village. I think what would have been cool is if they could have brought them back, and the person had their own self-control.
They could, but then the user just gets rid of the personality, so.
Yeah, so it's like if the person's personality would have been there with their own control, that would have been a little bit better, but I don't think that necessarily was what his intentions were. Of course, Orochimaru kind of, as with all the jutsus, as the fourth Hokage did with Flying Raijin, he kind of manipulated it, changed it, tweaked a couple things, and made it exactly what he wanted to be. But I think that was just too dangerous of a game to play, and that led to so many bad things that happened because of that jutsu. So I'm gonna go with that as my negative. And man, those things fit together like a glove, man.
I mean, so far, Tobirama is the best out of the two.
Yeah.
It actually looks like him too.
I like that they connect, but not 100%. I like that there's a little bit of a separation, because then it kind of gives you that like, oh yeah, like you had to collect all of these.
Yeah.
Like rather than if they blended perfectly, you kind of see it as like, oh, okay, it's just one piece, but you can kind of see like, oh, this is something you had to put together. So there we go. We have this one set up, our number 2 connection. So favorite Hokage, Hashirama?
No.
I'm gonna go with, of these two, Hashirama.
Out of those two, yeah.
Yeah. For right now. All right, now third is who was my favorite Hokage for a long time until Shippuden came out, and that is Hiruzen, the third Hokage, the only person to be Hokage twice that I can think of.
Yeah, he went from 3rd to technically 5th, but
yeah,
guess that's what happens when a Hokage dies early.
He's like, I'm still here.
You know those elders, man, they were strict. They had specific rules.
And I can already say his biggest con was not checking in on Danzo more. Danzo was like, let's be real, the third Hokage let Danzo just do whatever the hell he wanted to.
You seen how many eyes he was stealing?
Like, that's a problem. So that's why he's not my favorite Hokage, is that he knew what was happening with Itachi. No, you know, I don't want to be a spoiler alert, but this whole video kind of a spoiler alert. So it's like, he knew what was happening with Itachi and the Uchiha. He knew what Danzo was doing to an extent. He didn't know exactly, but he knew there was something going down there that he shouldn't have been doing. doing? For all light, there must be a darkness. Okay, well, it ain't gotta be that dark. All right, so there we go. We have Sarutobi. I feel like he's very powerful. I think like he had the most technical skill. Nowhere near the level of power as a Hashirama or Tobirama had, but definitely a hardworking ninja.
You wouldn't dare! The seal is set!
So there we go. Connection
Oh,
number
man.
3. That looks, I can't even see it yet. Let me flip the viewfinder. Oh, that looks sick. That is dope. So when you first enter into Naruto in the original series, these are the only 3 heads that are actually on Hokage Rock. So that's how it all started, man.
It's so interesting seeing Hiruzen too, or whatever, just like super young.
Yeah, his young form. And of all of them, he was the one that he's like, I'm the Hokage. He wore this hat all the time.
Yeah, true.
Like, constantly. Most of them, it was kind of like only for ceremonial events type of thing, but him, it was his day-to-day attire.
He's like, I'm old, I gotta get a sun hat.
The more I sit here and think about it, I think the 3rd Hokage might be my least favorite.
Oh man, I feel like Orochimaru got away with some stuff he shouldn't have. Yeah, Danzo.
They all have a mistake of kindness.
Making Itachi do what he had to do. Yeah.
And then not just that, like you think about it like, okay, yeah, Naruto, like literally Minato and Kushina left Naruto with the 3rd Hokage to look after him.
And he said, nah, I'm not doing that.
He gave him him and Sasuke, they gave them apartments. Naruto's living here with spoiled milk, no parents, nobody watching him. Everybody's making fun of him, calling him a loser. He's sitting on swing sets alone. The Hokage is technically his guardian, and he couldn't have said like, oh, people respect Naruto. He's a good kid, you know? He doesn't deserve this. No. Like, he could have done more to give Naruto a good life, you know? He's literally the leader of the village. If he would have said like, hey, you guys just stop belittling him, stop disrespecting him, show him love, maybe even let him live in the Hokage's house, something like that, that would have given him a better life. But he was just like, no, I'm just gonna, your parents are dead and now you just fend for yourself, but I'll give you a little cheap apartment.
And then he gives Konohamaru like a whole freaking like trainer and everything to become Hokage.
Yeah, dude, like you should treat him like your son. Literally, they just gave their life for the village. Anyway, though, so on that
you just suck.
Yeah, I think he's my least favorite. I mean, obviously there's some good attributes to him, but overall, I think I don't like him. So next up, we have the 4th Hokage, and that is our main man, Naruto's papa. We have Minato Namikaze. So let's go ahead and pop this one open. He already looks dope here. So this will be the last one to connect to complete the original Naruto line of Hokages that were on the wall. So after that, you would have gotten, you know, other people like, you know, Tsunade. But from right here, this is where, you know, original Naruto started off. And all his life, he'd been looking up to his dad all along.
He's graffitiing all over him. And everything.
True. But in some ways, his dad was always watching over him.
Literally in his body.
In his body and on his rocks. I'm sure Minato saw some things he wish he wouldn't have.
What about Kushina? Saw Naruto's first kiss with Sasuke.
That's true. There we go. Oh, that's probably the coolest one so far. We have Minato right there.
Top speed.
He's got the flying ridge and hanging down from his finger. He's got the freaking awesome Hokage cloak. He's the only one that's got the flames on the jacket.
He was like, I'm gonna make my stuff sicker.
I know, he just looks dope. Like, he just made his whole aesthetic way cooler than the rest of the Hokages previously. Like, Tobirama looks just like, oh, you know he's old school.
Yeah.
They look like clothes just got invented. And then over here, he's like, okay, I'm adding flair. So like Ichiraku and a little bit of hard work and perspiration. So there we go. We have Minato to add to that. And Minato, I mean, what are his backdraws? I mean, they can only have positives. He saved the Leaf Village from the Nine-Tailed Fox. He gave his own son to save them as well by encapsulating it inside of his son.
At least half of it.
He trained the greatest ninja of all time, Kakashi Hatake.
I guess really the only downside technically would be like, oh, well, he left his son by himself, but like, he left him with this guy.
Yeah, he trusted the Leaf Village to look. Like, how could they do that to the person? I mean, I think maybe.
I don't think he has a downside, yeah.
I'm looking for one.
It might be the only Hokage who's not done anything wrong.
He's like the Mr. Rogers of Hokages. He's flawless. He's uncancelable. I mean, you could say the fact that he put a demon inside of his son, but I mean, it was to save the village, and not just that, he put half of it inside of himself too, to keep it from being too much. Alright, so I think there's no downsides to the 4th Hokage
that we can think of.
we can think of on the top of our head. head. I mean, there might be something. I'm sure somebody in the comments inevitably will have some answer, but I cannot think of any off the top of my head that are like easy to say, oh yeah, he was in the wrong on that.
That's hard. That's crazy.
At least things that happened, maybe he could have done certain things smarter, but he also, it was out of his, like, nothing within his intention. You know, he did those things. He let everybody be an asshole to Naruto. He let Danzo do those things. He invented the reanimation jutsu and hated the Uchiha and didn't even try to give them a chance or even figure it out. And him, he was just really nice. Too nice. All right, I'm gonna go with, I think right now my favorite is Minato.
Compared to the other three, he's just so much cooler, so much better.
If I had to pick one to defend my life, though, I'm going with Hashirama still. Okay, so next up we have the 5th Hokage, and that is Tsunade. And she's another one, you know, super powerful. She's in the same bloodline as these two. So, I mean, of the entire Hokage wall of 7, then you've got 3 of them all from the same bloodline, essentially.
Yeah, they're all from like the Senju.
Yeah, and then you've got 2 that are from the same families.
Uzumakis, yeah.
Yes, I mean, pretty much, we gotta get some more credit, I guess, to Hiruzen and Kakashi for being the only non-birthright Hokages in some way. She never really wanted to be the Hokage. After the 3rd Hokage passed away, the 4th Hokage was already long gone. After the 4th Hokage was long gone, they had to pick another Hokage, and I think originally they went with Jiraiya, and he was like,
no.
Yeah. And she said no too, I'm pretty sure. And then they just ended up
because Naruto was like, oh, you want
Jiraiya talked her into it, right?
Well, that and Naruto was like, oh, you don't want to be like Hokage, I'm gonna be Hokage. And then they had that fight, and then she's like, you know what, okay, I'll do it.
But you see that happen a lot. Not a lot of people want to be Hokage because it's a lot of responsibility, a lot of paperwork, and it's just how it is. But there we go, we have Tsunade right there, you know, all geared up. I mean, she never died, but she got close to it a few damn times.
Yeah, literally.
So there we have the 5th Hokage on the wall here.
Give my regards to hell.
Her only flaw, I would say, gambling, of course, as with Hashirama.
I mean, for a while, she had like that fear of blood, you know, because her...
Yeah. That's a human flaw, you know, more than like a flaw towards the village.
Towards the village, there was like a small period of time where she wasn't really like sure about healing people or like correctly. Like, I mean, look at Lee. She was like, oh yeah, you're never gonna heal. You're never gonna be anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you know what? I'll fix her. Like, she fixed herself and started like learning how to like really heal him.
Yeah, that's true. She's a little too harsh, a little too quick to call something. Definitely with Lee, yeah, she made it seem like he would never be a ninja again.
And then look at him now.
Look at him now. He's one of the most mediocre ninjas of all. He's a splendid ninja, quite literally. Nothing more, nothing less. I still think she beats the hell out of him.
Oh yeah, she's a great healer and everything. So
yeah, and nice. Talking about you overall. So not my favorite though. Still going with 4th Hokage as my current favorite. And dude, this wall is coming together beautifully.
It looks sick.
This looks incredible.
I like all the little details, like these little houses, the staircases to them.
Heck yeah. So next up, we have possibly the greatest Hokage of all time. No bias at all. We have Kakashi Hatake.
He looks so sick.
Oh yeah, he looks freaking dope as hell. Kakashi always looks sick. He's still reading that same book he's read back to front 100 times. And he's ready to go. And he's the only one who got to keep his mask on in this photo. Like, they said that he had to. He didn't end up being Hokage. And then when he did become it, they were like, oh, whatever.
I feel so bad for him too. He's like sketching out his face, you know, getting the rock set up, and he's like, all right, he's not Hokage anymore. And he's like, oh, come on. He just gets rid of the whole head. And then he's like, okay, he's Hokage again. Rebuild it.
At least he already had the blueprint.
It's just like, you know what, we're gonna make it easy. Put the mask on. It's interesting too. You get to finally see his face in Boruto. It's weird.
Yeah. So here we go. Boom. We have the 6th Hokage, Kakashi Hatake. Only the Hokage for a very short amount of time, but still really, really cool. And I mean, he did not become the Hokage twice like Hiruzen, but he had the option almost twice.
I'm prepared to be called the worst Hokage in the history of the Leaf for this. And it's all thanks to you, Iruka.
Okay, so Kakashi's only backdraws, I guess. I mean, wins for Kakashi. Dude is one of the most powerful ninja out there. He's like the Batman of the Leaf Village, you know? That's not the most natural power, but he's such a combat genius and almost has the level of tactical skills of Shikamaru, and also has almost good of a sense of smell as freaking Kiba. I mean, they give him so many attributes that are just kind of like naturally, or not natural, that are kind of just like something he worked on.
Like, you know you're a sick shinobi when you have like other villages like, oh, that's Kakashi, the copy ninja, you know?
Yeah, he's just kind of a walking legend, and he's sick. His aesthetic is dope, and he's a chill guy too. He's not too nice. He's funny, but he's not funny in the most like in your face way. He's just chill, and I love that about Kakashi. When I was a kid, he was like the literal definition of what I thought cool meant.
Yeah.
So I love Kakashi, but I'm gonna say negatives, none. Maybe being a little too aloof sometimes.
I mean, like, as a Hokage though, like, he really didn't do anything like crazy.
He didn't even want to be Hokage either. So I'm gonna say,
but he did his job.
yeah, I'll say his negative is just really not doing anything spectacular. Like, he didn't really, I don't think even if he would have had more time as the Hokage, he would have done anything necessarily to really just change and rock the foundation of the Leaf Village. I think, as Mitchell said, he just did his job, you know? But at the same time, he didn't really want to be Hokage. And it was kind of just a role that he was taking on, so that way that the village had a leader in some sense and somebody to kind of look to for, you know, guidance. But ultimately, it wasn't really the thing that he himself would even say he was meant to do. So for that, we knock him that much, though, you know?
Other than that, I mean, really, yeah, there's nothing.
Kakashi's my favorite character, but I'm gonna say he's not my favorite Hokage.
I get that.
Yeah, so I think my favorite Hokage still is the fourth.
It's hard to say, but yeah,
Well,
right now. Yeah.
As of right now, yeah. As of right now, I think my favorite is the fourth Hokage, just because of everything he stood for and everything he was willing to do. And I mean, obviously he didn't live that long, so he could have made further mistakes down the line.
Never know, yeah.
But we'll never know exactly. That's why sometimes it's good to get out while you're the getting's good.
The getting's good when you're sacrificing everything for your son.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you don't want to be like, you know, you can be like Michael Jordan, where you come back and you play for the Wizards and you're really, you know, it's not, you know, sometimes you want to finish on that championship. But I get it. It ain't easy. So we're not going to blame Minato for his death. But he is my favorite. But that is up until the man who is probably the most destined of all to become Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki.
Yeah.
And for sure, he is my favorite now.
Absolutely.
Overall, best Hokage ever. Still standing Hokage.
That looks so good.
And that is the entire wall right there.
He's just a monster through and through.
Like you're not just as much of a monster. Finally, this is actually getting fun.
Oh, dude, that is sick. To be honest, when they added in Tsunade, I was like, I don't even see enough room, and then boom, more mountain. Somehow they had more mountain there than was there before.
You're like, well, we gotta keep making more. Well, I mean, I guess it's probably when Pain like shoved it down.
Maybe,
They
yeah.
had like more cliff.
Because when they did this one, I was like, you can see a clear space there because of Naruto. Oh, I want to be Hokage. And you can see like a clear space there, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. And then these two just appear. But there we go. All 7 Hokage. And I mean, Naruto's, there's nothing really. He's made mistakes. He's made triumphs like any ninja, but nothing too drastic that was,
His only flaw is when he's not at home with his kids.
yeah, maybe his only flaw is just being a busy guy. But I mean, other than that, I don't think Naruto's ever done anything purposely that was too drastic, you know, that affected the Leaf Village too much. And I mean, triumphs, literally he saved the village countless times.
And still keeps countlessly
Before he was
even
Hokage, he was saving the Leaf Village. So, I would debate he could have been Hokage like right after he beat Pain. You know? He probably should have given the hat right then. But nonetheless, you know, he took him a little bit longer.
No, he's got to go back to school first.
Yeah, right. We actually become a Chunin. So there we go. That is the entire setup right there. All 7 Hokages. You guys let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite Hokage. And yeah, I'd love to see it in the comments down below. And I think I just want to say thank you to Mitchell for letting us do this video, because we would not be able to do it otherwise. And you know what, man? Now that I see them out of the box, I would like to have it, but there's no way I'm keeping them in the boxes.
Out of the box is so sick. Yeah.
Out of the box, like on a shelf, would be dope. It's just that in those boxes, that just takes up so much room.
Like, they don't even fit in like any tubs or anything.
It's too much with the boxes. But like out of the box, you could put this somewhere just on a shelf, and it wouldn't be as intrusive. That's out of the box. So I'm gonna think about it still, but I definitely love it. So shout out to Mitchell for making this video possible by letting us open all these ones up. And thank you guys for watching the video. Stay tuned here. Mitchell's gonna put this in his collection. We might get a clip of that. We'll see. But before that, you guys know the drill. Scan it. Okay. Okay, so on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know who was your favorite Hokage we popped out of the box today. Again, huge shout out to Mitchell for letting us open up all of his freaking Funko Pops here on the show. I think we did it safely, right? You're all good?
Absolutely.
So hit the like button for that as well, and subscribe if you guys are new here so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. We got a bunch of anime videos coming out here, so hopefully you have some more and keep this ball rolling. And if you guys want to support the show further, you can check out the Patreon, where you can get an extended version of this video and every other video that I upload on YouTube, 100% ad-free. You can sign up for only $2 a month, and you get ad-free extended versions of videos for Comfort Cartoons, Anime Avenue, and ADHD's World. It is the ultimate way to watch any of the channels, so check that out. And it supports us immensely and makes what we do here possible. And if you want to see us live, we're also on Whatnot every single Friday, where you can buy or also sell, if you're interested in that, any of the collectibles that we love here. They've got Funko Pops, cards, tons of stuff, and they have amazing deals that you don't want to miss out on. So that information will be at the top of the description. Check that out as well. I'll see you guys in this video right here. I know you're gonna love it. And as always, Ret Pack, I'll see you, beautiful shinobi, in the next one. Adios and bloop.